I didn't make whiskey, what would I make? This question is a really big challenge.
I didn't make whiskey, I think we'd really be continuing focusing in on spirits.
If I wasn't making Scotch whiskey, what other spirit would I make?
If I didn't make whiskey, what spirit would I make? That's a great question.
If I didn't make whiskey, what spirit would I make?
If I didn't make whiskey, gin all day, because the only thing more complicated than whiskey is gin.
Probably gin. Scotch whiskey is very tightly defined. Lots of regulations about what we can and cannot do, and that to a certain extent can stifle innovation. I think the gin category, you've got a lot more ability to play around with characters, flavours, really going for the sort of terroir of the place that your gin is made in, looking for local herbs and fruits, botanicals. So I think, yeah, probably gin. Give me a little more chance to experiment with some of the flavours.
If I wasn't making whiskey, what I do is make gin with a botanist. So we've got a ready-made answer here at the distillery. So since 2010, we've been distilling the Botanist, which is an Islay gin. We have a professional and tame forager, James Donaldson, who picks locally 22 of the botanicals that we use in the recipe. It's a fantastic thing because it's really kind of picking the local flavours, really exploring distillation and flavour of Islay in a real way. Yeah, when I'm not making whiskey, that generally is where I'll be found, in the still house, 3 o'clock in the morning, cranking up the gin still and producing a little bit more Botanist.
You know, we certainly make gin here. We have for many years. In fact, I was recently named an icon of the entire gin industry. We would make gin is certainly the easy answer. But if you want me to look at a little bit more of the more challenging answer, you could be really motivated to do stuff like a brandy. Really interested in working with fruit distillates. Very different on the production side, but I think that could be a really fun and interesting spirit to play around with. I think brandy is kind of an untouched area that is ripe for some innovation. And that is, again, kind of the core and the essence of what we hear a few spirits do.
I love all spirits. If I wasn't making whiskey, I would probably venture into brandy, to be honest. I think it's actually quite interesting, the different influences. It's an agricultural start, right? You're starting with a fruit. Different fruits, different ripeness, different sugar contents, different geographical locations. All of that is going to end up ultimately coming through in the final product. We're still staying in the realm of something that goes through barrel maturation, which is kind of the side that I focus on with Old Forester. Staying safe within the age stuff, but also I think that there's a lot of room to play around when you're using fruit as a base. So it would be brandy.
I would move to Normandy and I would make Calvados. I love Calvados.